New Russian satellite event, new power grid system, new heavy fuses and power plant features, new car lifts in gas stations, new fridges in the supermarkets, new oil rig mission, new fuel pumps on the dome, new water stations on the water treatment, new Airdrop and Chinook events on the Airfield, and much more will be added to Rust in the near future. The developers went absolutely crazy this time and decided to add all the features the community has been asking for since 2015. And you know what? I love it! So, in this video, let's take a look at all these new updates and maybe add our own ideas before they're officially released. And let's begin with the new event, the Russian satellite. To activate this event, you need to go to the launch site monument and find this building. Go inside it, and on the left you will see the control room. At the moment, you don't need any keycards or fuses to open the door, but I'm sure it will change in the future. Inside this room, you will find a huge computer station that you can interact with. You need to insert 10 tech trash to activate this terminal. Once you've done that, it will light up and enable the monitors. Here you will see the list of different satellites with different sizes, fuel amounts, loot and mass. If you select one of the satellites, you can select the grid where it will fall, and you can also see the fuel at the bottom of the screen. On the left side, you can select the grid where the satellite will land, and on the right, you can see the maximum distance you can move on this grid. 1 unit of fuel is taken away for each move on the map. Once you have selected the location where you want the satellite to land, press the lock button and wait 5 minutes. When the time is up, you'll see a satellite falling from the sky and crashing on the ground. As for the loot inside this satellite, it will definitely change in the future, but as far as I know, you will get at least a few heavy fuses for the power plant monument, and the rest of the loot will be similar to the patrol helicopter or Chinook. Also, I don't know if it's possible to destroy someone else's base if a satellite crashes into it, but I hope the developers will change the mechanics so that the satellite will only fall inside the monument building range. That way, you won't need to worry that it can destroy your base. Also, I don't think that this event should be launched from the launch site, because this monument is already too overpowered. You have the best loot here, a Bradley tank, tons of NPCs and a lot of other stuff. In my opinion, it would be much better and more logical to launch the satellite event from the satellite dishes. Maybe they could add a hidden tunnel below this monument, or use this building in the middle to make a command room. And on the launch site, they could add an even bigger event that would involve this rocket. But let's leave that idea to the developers. Next, let's check out the power plant monument and its new features. Here, inside the main puzzle building, behind the green door, you will find new fuse boxes. You can't install normal fuses here, because you need special heavy fuses. And if you put a heavy fuse in this box, you can't take it back. Also, the more fuses you put in, the more power and the longer the power plant will produce electricity. Once you fill up these boxes with fuses, you need to enable this switch and go to the second floor to the blue puzzle room. Inside this room, you need to go all the way to the top, and there's an extra room on the left. For now, there's nothing inside this room, but you can click this button and activate the entire power plant. You might be thinking, what's the use of all this? Well, in the very first version of this update, all recyclers on the map were disabled, except for those in the safe zone, so no one could use them. And the only way to activate these recyclers was to start up the power plant, using a whole bunch of heavy fuses. Thank gosh, the developers decided against this idea, and now all the recyclers are working as usual. However, now we have 2 additional VIP recyclers in the safe zone, and if the power plant is running, you can use these recyclers without any loot penalties. Also, I hope you'll be able to get bonuses from the normal recyclers around the map if the power plant is running. For example, instead of 60% efficiency, we will get 70 or even 80% efficiency on these recyclers for a limited time. I think that would be cool. Another useful bonus for all players on the server is free electricity, which will be available after the power plant is up and running. Some of the electrical poles along the road now have a power unit on top, and it actually offers 6 power outputs. So you can basically place a few batteries inside your base and connect them to this pole. Once someone activates the power plant, you will get some free electricity, which you can use for a long time. And to climb to this pole, you can now attach a ladder to it and connect the wires. I also hope the developers will find a use for these small power stations next to the monuments. Maybe they could divide the roads into different sections, with each road connected to a specific monument and a small power station next to it, and to have electricity in the specific section. Beyond activating the power plant, you also need to put a normal fuse inside the small power station. This will make the new system even more balanced, since not all players on the map will get free electricity, only those who have activated their small power station. Next, let's move to the supermarkets and gas stations. Now, you can find a fridge with some food or berries inside every supermarket on the map. I still don't understand whether this fridge will run all the time or only when the power plant is running, but either way, it's a great addition to this monument. And at the gas station, we have 2 changes. First, we have a real garage door that you can actually open. And second, there's now a small generator on the right side of the gas station. If you throw some fuel inside it and enable this generator, you'll be able to use a car lift inside the gas station, which is pretty cool. But I really want to see one more change to this monument. I think it would be insane if we could actually use these fuel pumps. Just imagine, you come to the gas station, fix your car on a car lift, and then fill it up using these fuel pumps. That's really next level. And you know what? They actually added a similar feature, but only on the Dome monument. Now you can find a couple of fuel pumps next to these huge tanks. But to use them, you'll need to solve the longest and most difficult puzzle in the game. First, you need to activate the power plant, so it starts generating electricity. Next, you need to come to the large oil rig. Go inside the red room and activate the switch. As I understand it, this will activate the oil rig, and it will begin extracting oil. By the way, inside the crate room, you'll find a sketch showing how all this works. And finally, to get all this oil, you need to find or make a car with a tank model and drive it to the Dome monument. Park it next to these fuel pumps and connect the tank to the pump using a hose. As you can see, the oil will automatically transfer to your car, but it will take a while. You can also switch to a different fuel pump if you want to speed up the process, but there are only 3 of them here. To extract this crude oil from your car, you need to find or make a car lift. Just drive your car onto the lift. Go outside and press E to open the car menu, and you'll see a take button to collect the oil from the tank. By the way, I think it would be insane if they added the ability to sell this fuel at the gas stations. As I said before, these fuel pumps need to be working, and the best way to do that is to add the ability to sell the fuel to other players, using the new shop mechanic from the apartment complex. This will take in-game trading to a whole new level. Next, let's move to the Airfield, and here we also have a new event. Now, you can call an Airdrop or a Chinook, or both of them at the same time from this tower. All you need to do is put a fuse in this fuse box on the first floor, and another fuse in this box on the top floor. Climb to the very top, and here you will find a new command center. Behind this door, you will find a scheme showing how to call a supply drop or a Chinook. Fuse A is located on the first floor, and Fuse B is located on the last floor. If you want only an airdrop, just put a fuse in Fuse A, and if you want both, a supply drop and a Chinook, use both fuses. By the way, while you're waiting, you'll have to replace the fuses a few times, and to make this process easier, you can use new heavy fuses. Next, all you need to do is just wait until all the lights on the station turn green, and you'll get a Chinook and a supply drop flying to the airfield. And the last monument that has been changed is water treatment. If you climb to the top of these huge barrels, you'll find these things in the middle. When you open it, you can put a gear in here, and then you need to hold E to turn this valve. And you might ask, what's the point of this? Now, you can find these little water stations in random places around the map and use them to get some water. You can either drink it, fill your jug with this water, or use a car to store all this water. In any case, this can be insanely helpful if you want to build a farm somewhere in the middle of the map and there are no lakes or rivers close to you. That was all the changes at the moment. If you have any ideas on how to make this update even better, please write your thoughts in the comments below. Maybe Facepunch will use them before the force wipe. Also, if you want to support my channel, you can join the membership and become a real chat. So, if you have the opportunity, I'd appreciate your support. And if you want to learn even more about Rust, then this is the updated, ultimate guide to all monuments in Rust, from Tier 1 all the way up to Tier 3.